Good morning, students. In the previous classes, we were studying about inheritance of one gene. In today's class, we will start Mendel's laws of inheritance part 2. Okay, so we will study what do you mean by back cross and test cross. This is very important topic if you relate it to your NEET as well as your board exams. Okay, so what is back cross? Back cross is nothing but the cross between the hybrid and its any parent. So what is hybrid? As we said, as I have already taught you, hybrid is nothing but when two homozygous pure plants parents are crossed, then this we call it as hybrid. I'll explain you again here. So here you can see there is a homozygous tall parent. That means genetically the alleles are homozygous, both capital T and capital T. These we call it as purebreds, and even the other parent, it is homozygous recessive parent. That means small t, small t. When these two parents are crossed, then whatever the first generation you get, this we call it as hybrid, right? So the cross between this hybrid to its homozygous parent, any homozygous parent, we call homozygous recessive parent, we call it as back cross. Okay, cross between a hybrid and its any parent. So as I said, hybrid, okay, this is hybrid. You can cross it with whether homozygous dominant parent or homozygous recessive parent. You are crossing it back, okay, back to its parent. Then only we call it as back cross. And what is test cross? Crossing of an organism with the dominant phenotype to a recessive individual, we call it as test cross. So first we will see what is back cross here. So you can see here, this is the hybrid, okay, which this hybrid is phenotypically it is tall. That means physical appearance nodlikkadenaiti tall aiti, but genotypically it is heterozygous. That means genotypically it is having capital T and small t, heterozygous condition, but phenotypically to appearance, in appearance it is tall only. So such hybrid, it is crossed with its recessive parent. As I said, you can cross with any parent in the back cross, but in the test cross, the dominant phenotype hybrid is it is crossed with the recessive individual, recessive parent. Okay, so here you can see this hybrid, it is crossed with the recessive parent. So as I said, hybrid it is having capital T and small t, heterozygous gametes they are produced. So this capital T, when it is fusing with the small t, then what it will produce? It will produce again the heterozygous tall plant, right? But when this small t and this small t will fuse, obviously what they will form? They will form the homozygous dwarf plant. Okay, so as you can see here, so you might ask me what is the use of this test cross. Okay, so to find out whether the hybrid, so genotypic condition of the hybrid, so now illen nodatevi the gametes are formed and how the gametes might be appearing in the such plants, so we don't know. So plants, they are just crossing, okay, ನೀವು cross ಮಾಡಾತೀರಿ and ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಾತೀರಿ seeds ಅನ್ನ ಬೆಳ್ದ ಅದು ಯಾವ ಟೈಪ್ ಪ್ರೋಜೆನಿ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗತೈತಿ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡತ್ತೀರಿ. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಜೀನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಯಾವ ಟೈಪ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ಸ್ ಐತಿ ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡಕ್ ಬರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಫಿನೋಟಿಪಿಕಲಿ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ವೇ. So Mendel wanted to know what is the genotype of this hybrid. So ಈ hybrid formation ಆಗೈತಿ. So this hybrid it is phenotypically it is tall in condition, right? So ನೋಡಾಕದ tall ಐತಿ, but ಅದು homozygous tall. So this kind of tall ಅಥವಾ heterozygous tall, ಇದು ಅಂತ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಕನ್ಫರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. So okay, he want to test, so that is why he crosses it with the recessive parent. So yak recessive parent olag cross ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, so when he crossed with the recessive parent, so see here, if the hybrid is in this condition, if the hybrid is having heterozygous condition, then it has to, so this when it is crossed with the recessive parent, then one tall heterozygous plant should only form, and when these two are crossed, then homozygous recessive parent or the recessive progeny or the dwarf plant is formed. So as you can see here, but if this hybrid was in the dominant, homozygous dominant in condition, think this hybrid which is tall in appearance, it is homozygous dominant in condition. If he crosses it with the homozygous recessive parent, then what he should receive, he should what the progenies will be formed, the progenies will be again T and T, capital T small t, all are heterozygous and all are tall in appearance, so they will not get the dwarf plant at all. So here he is getting the dwarf plant, that makes sure that the hybrid was the heterozygous in condition. That means its genes are, or its alleles are, one it is having dominant and one it is the recessive allele. So these will help him to note down or to analyze what kind of genotype the hybrid is having. Okay, so as you can see here, the T and T, if they are formed, so capital T small t, the tall parents are, tall progenies are formed, and if these two recessive alleles they will fuse, then obviously the dwarf plants are formed. So this is very very important topic, this is very important question, the monohybrid test cross ratio. It will be asked in your NEET and CET exams. What is the monohybrid test cross ratio? So it is 1:1. As you can see, one tall and one dwarf, and one heterozygous and one homozygous recessive allele. Okay, so as I said, the test cross is used to find out the unknown genotype of the character. So as I said, what is the character? Tall character. So that F1 generation, so what was the tall plant? So it was found, but it is phenotypically it is tall. He wanted to know what is the genotype of this tall plant. Okay, so test cross was made to find out the unknown genotype of the character. So here also you can see many examples. So this is homozygous recessive, this is also homozygous recessive white. Okay, so when it is crossed with the dominant genotype, but what its genotype, it is not known. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಈಗೇನು ಮಾಡತ್ತೀರಿ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಕ್ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡತ್ತೀರಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಡೆ ಒಂದು ವೈಟ್ ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಐತಿ, ಓಕೆ, 2 ವೈಟ್ ಫ್ಲವರ್ಸ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿರಿ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಒನ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಪಿಂಕ್ ಫ್ಲವರ್. ನೀವು ವೈಟ್ ಅಂತಿರೋದು ಎದಕ್ಕಂತಂದರೆ, ಸೊ ವೈಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಆಕರ್ ವೆನ್ 2 recessive alleles are formed. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ recessive alleles ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ w ತೊಗೊಂಡಾರ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ರಿಸೆಸಿವ್ ಅಲೀಲ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗನೇ ಏನಾಗತೈತಿ, ವೈಟ್ ಅಪಿಯರ್ ಆಗತೈತಿ ಅಂತ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು. ಸೊ ಹೋಮೋಸೈಗಸ್ ರಿಸೆಸಿವ್ ಅಂದರೆ 2 ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ w ಇದ್ದಾಗನೇ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ವೈಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇರುವಂಥ ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಡೂ, you will take these white flowers. Okay, so and then you would want to know what kind of genotype this pink color is having. Whereas we know pink is a dominant phenotype. Okay, so if it is possible, if the genotype is heterozygous also and the genotype is homozygous also. So pink genotype ಏನೈತಿ, ಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಐತಿ. ಪಿಂಕ್ ಕಲರ್ ಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಐತಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಹೆಂಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು, 2 ಅಲೀಲ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಪಿಂಕ್ ಅವೆರಡು ಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಹೋಮೋಜೈಗಸ್ ಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಆದರೂ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಆರ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಮೈಟ್ ಬಿ ಹಿಟ್ರೋಜೈಗಸ್ ಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಮೈಟ್ ಬಿ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಡಬ್ಲ್ಯೂ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಡಬ್ಲ್ಯೂ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ capital W that is homozygous dominant. So in both the cases the pink color is appeared. So which kind of genotype this is having, whether it is homozygous dominant or heterozygous dominant, that you want to test. So what you are doing, so if it is homozygous dominant, then what it will show when it is mixing with the, so this W, capital W, and this capital W. Okay, so this capital W, when they fuse, obviously heterozygous dominant will form. So the same case is found when these two will fuse, and you can see here. Okay, so but if this is heterozygous in condition, then what kind of progenies are formed? So this will give one capital W, this will give one small w if it is a heterozygous. So ee genotype enadru heterozygous ittandre andre ಒಂದು capital W and one small w gene ittandre enagtiti, so what it will do, it will fuse with this capital W to form homozygous, this is small w. Okay, so these will form the heterozygous pink, and again these two will fuse to form again a heterozygous pink. But since this is also small w, this is also small w, they will form two white progenies. Okay, so this is how the back cross and test cross, they are made to so this is back cross, right? So where the individual is crossing it with, you are crossing with the recessive parent, here also you are crossing it with the recessive parent. So this back cross and test cross will help to determine the genotype of this character. Okay, so if it is capital W that is homozygous dominant, then all the progenies will be what, in pink in only color. But if it is heterozygous in condition, then you will find out the white flowers. Okay, so half of the flowers are violet and half of the flowers are white. So then you will conclude that this is a heterozygous. So this is then you will conclude that this is a heterozygous flower or plant. So if you cross this to the homozygous recessive parent, then obviously if it is homozygous dominant, then all the flowers will show the violet color. So that is why the Mendel wanted to know the genotype of the F1 generation or any of the character. So that is why he conducted back cross and test cross. Okay, so Mendel conducted test cross to determine F2 genotype. So what is the genotype of the F2? So that he wanted to, so F1 genotype will be known and F2 genotype that he wanted to know. So he conducted the back cross and test cross. So now law of dominance. So Mendel's laws of inheritance are also most important topics. Okay, so first law is law of dominance. This says that characters are controlled by discrete units called as factors. So factors occurs in pairs. In a dissimilar pair of factors, one member of the pair dominant, the other recessive. So Mendel, what he said is characters are controlled by discrete units called as factors. ಅಂದ್ರೇನು, ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಒಂದು ಯೂನಿಟನ್ನು ಅದು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ಒಂದು ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವನೇನಂತ ಹೆಸರಿಟ್ಟ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಟಾಲ್ ಅಥವಾ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು, ಟಾಲ್ ಅದೆಯೋ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದೆಯೋ ಅದು ಎಂಥ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಅದ, ನಾವೇನು ಹೇಳಕತ್ತೀವಿ ಟಾಲ್ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹೈಟ್. Okay, so whether she is tall or whether she is short, it is the character of height, right? So this height, it is controlled by the genes. So genes that are responsible for the tall or dwarf, as I said. So these genes, so whether they are in the homozygous condition or heterozygous condition, okay, so these three are the different possibilities, right? So these height is a character, okay, this is controlled by these factors, these we call it as genes, okay. So genes are controlled, as I said, genes are having pair of alleles, okay. So these are the pair of alleles. So factors occur in pairs. So genes we call it as factors, and factors, as I said, they occur in pairs. So TT, TT and small t, these occur in pairs. So if you consider this is one gene, they occur in pair, so two alleles will be formed. So in a dissimilar pair, so what is dissimilar pair? In the heterozygous condition. So in the dissimilar pair, one is dominant, okay, so one member of the pair will dominate the other. So that means one will be dominant and one will be recessive. So when as I said, in the this is the height determining gene, okay. So here it is a tall and this is the allele for dwarf, but tall allele, it is dominant in nature, okay. So it will suppress this dwarf allele and only tall character is shown. So that is the meaning of the law of dominance, as you can see here. So this is also factors, so he call it as characters are controlled by factors. So this is similar factors, these are also similar factors, homozygous dominant, homozygous recessive, and this is this dissimilar factor where there will be one dominant and one recessive allele. So next is the second law, that is law of segregation. This is also a very important law and you will get confused if you don't understand this topic well. So what does this law says? It says that during gamete formation, the factors, that means alleles of a character pair present in parents, they segregate from each other such that a gamete receives only one pair of two factors. Okay, so what is the meaning of this statement? As you know, our chromosomes, I'll explain it in detail. So our chromosomes, they are having one pair of, so they'll be arranged in the pairs, right? So if you consider first chromosomal pair, okay, so they are having two chromosomes, right? So there are 23 chromosomal pair, and as I said, so the chromosomes, if you consider, if there is one gene here, so again we will take the example of tall gene, or we will take the example of brown color eye gene, okay. So one of your parent is having brown color eye, just it is an example. So if you think other parent, it is he or she. So for example, father is having the brown color eyes and mother is having what? She is having the black color eye, okay. So then what happens during the gamete formation? Okay, so during the gamete formation, what will happen? So they will segregate, okay. So they will segregate in the sense, so we will study here. So father and this is mother, okay. So in the father chromosomes, he is having what? He is having the brown color genes, alleles, okay, both B and B. In the mother, she is having what? She is having the black color genes, okay. So black color hair, okay. So these are the expressing genes that are expressing in the both the father as well as mother. So when the gametes are formed, as I said, all the 46 chromosomes that we are having, so mother will also have 46 chromosome, father will also have 46 chromosome. So now in that 46 chromosome, only 23 chromosomes should the father should give and 23 chromosomes the mother should give. That means half of the chromosomes, so one pair ಒಳಗೆ ಒಂದು ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಬರ್ತೈತೆ. ಸೊ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಪೇರ್ ಒಳಗಿನ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ gamete ಒಳಗೆ ಬರ್ತೈತೆ. ಸೊ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್, ಆಸ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ದ TT, if there is dominant genes, okay, dominant factors, homozygous condition, that means both the alleles are dominant, then similar gametes are formed. Okay, so so here also in the recessive condition also the similar gametes are formed, segregation. So these similar gametes, and even but in the dissimilar, in the heterozygous condition, both the dissimilar gametes are formed. Okay, so and they will segregate from, and each gamete will produce. So what is this gamete? So each gamete, this gamete, it is, if you consider, it is receiving only one allele, right? This gamete, it is also receiving only one factor, and this gamete, it is receiving only one T, and this gamete, it is receiving only one T. Okay, so the same case if it is produced in the sperm, so one sperm, both the sperms are receiving what? The tall alleles. And if you consider this is the sperms are formed, so this sperm is receiving the T, capital T, and this sperm gamete, it is receiving the small t. So during the gamete formation, so sperms are also gametes and egg is also gamete. So during the gamete formation, the factors or the alleles of a character pair present in the parents ಏನಿರ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ, so not just okay present in the parents, they segregate from each other. So ಇವೆರಡು ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇರ್ತಾ ಹೋದಿಲ್ಲ, so one gene ಒಳಗೆ, but they will what? They will separate, segregate from each other such that the gamete, so ಹೆಂಗ್ segregate ಆಗ್ತಾವ ಅಂದ್ರೆ such that a gamete receives only one of the two factors, that means it will receive only one factor. So two factors ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇರ್ತಾವ one genes ಒಳಗೆ, but when they will form the gametes, each gamete will receive, they will segregate in such a way that each gamete will receive only one factor. So this is the meaning of this sentence, and very very important law of segregation. Homozygous parents produce similar gametes. As we know, homozygous parents will produce similar gametes, and heterozygous parents will produce two kinds of gametes, each having one allele with equal proportions. Okay, so they will, so each gamete will have one allele. Okay, so this is the Mendel's second law of inheritance. So again I will explain you. So during the gamete formation, the factors or the alleles of a character pair, so if you consider for one character height, the tall, if you consider this is one gene, so the factors or the alleles, when the gametes are formed, they will separate, that means they will segregate in two different gametes. Okay, so that means each gamete, if you consider this is a gamete, each gamete will have only one allele. Okay, so this is very very important topic, law of dominance and law of segregation, and whatever I taught. I hope you understood the topic. We'll continue in the next video. Thank you.